everyone, it's Josh V.D. Faulkner. Today I'm going to be showing you off all of my Stephen King book and movie collection. This will be just a laid back video, so sit back, grab a snack, and just let me know down in the comments below what sort of movies or books you have from Stephen King yourself, or other Funkos or other things. I'm sort of just a beginner collection. I have quite a few things, but let me know down in the comments below if there's any recommendations you also have for me of what I should be picking up. First, we'll start off with the movies. First up, we got Pet Sematary on DVD, the newest one. I picked this up at a thrift store. It was really cheap, so just grabbed this. Didn't watch it at the time, which I thought it was decent, but I also haven't read the book to see if there's something good or better about the script itself. But at least back then I thought it was decent. Next up, we have a Triple Terror collection on DVD with Stephen King's The Shining, It, and Salem's Lot all TV miniseries. I have only seen It. I mostly picked this up to see The Shining on the TV miniseries. She had not gotten a chance to. I have not seen Salem's Lot either, so that's going to be interesting to get into some point. Next up, we got a recent pickup. We have Carrie 3 film collection. We have the original 1976 version, Rage Carrie 2, and Carrie 2002 adaptation. And I got this because I'm going to be doing a ranking, releasing tomorrow actually, possibly if it's up there as normal. But I picked this up because besides the ranking, I would have gotten Blu-ray because I normally do go for Blu-ray, but the Blu-ray is like over $100 and like out of stock on Amazon, and so might as well just get the DVD, which I was watching those movies for the first time, besides the original, of course. But next up, we have It, the 1990 miniseries on Blu-ray. Just had to upgrade that. Still need to get into more Blu-rays, but I still got a couple more to show off before we get into books. We got Green Mile, my favorite Stephen King adaptation. I haven't read the book either on this one. I've only read a few of his books thus far, having started getting into his work last year, but this one is just so powerful and emotional. John Coffey's story, having these magical powers sort of to heal people, but also sort of being put in a prison on death row, and just a journey with that. Next up, we got another recent pickup, Carrie 1976, the original upgraded to Blu-ray, just because I just really like this one. Of course, it's a classic. I got this before I even ordered a DVD, but gonna want to see it in better quality anyways. And moving on to 4Ks, we got The Shawshank Redemption, another great, excellent prison movie with Morgan Freeman and Tim Robbins. I highly enjoy this exactly for what it is, just the chemistry between these two characters, and then just the contemplation and tragedy of some things that go on in prison, and then when people get out of prison. So got that on 4K and Blu-ray. The cover isn't the greatest, but it just still really enjoyable. Can't wait to watch that again. Next up, we have The Shining on 4K. I love Stanley Kubrick's work, so had to just really get into this. Still need to pick up Dr. Sleep, because that one was a decent follow-up, but this is still one of my favorites from Stephen King, and I love the art design that they have on this. So there's The Shining on 4K and Blu-ray. And finishing off the movies for Stephen King, we have The Shining again on Steelbook. Had to double that because it's one of my favorite movies in general terms. I really like it. But also just being Stanley Kubrick's work as one of my favorite directors. Highly enjoy it. Here's the back with Jack Nicholson looking almost like the Joker as Jack Torrance in this role. It's slightly damaged with a little bit of marks, but we got a pretty good deal on eBay, only about $20. Like a while after it was being sold, so that was a good deal. I'm really happy to own that in the collection. Moving on to the books, so right off the bat we got Firestarter. What inspired this video mostly is reading this over the past month, getting ready for the recent adaptation of Firestarter, and highly enjoyed this book in general. I have a review up on the channel, so there's Firestarter with this edition. Next up, we have a recent pickup again is Carrie. Been watching the Carrie movies for the first time. Just finished watching them for my ranking, so stay tuned and subscribe for that. Haven't read Carrie at all, but I've been enjoying, especially the original. Just in general, enjoying the Carrie movies, even some of the older ones. I kind of enjoy. Let me know down in the comments below what you think of the book itself or even the movies. And let me know your favorite Stephen King adaptations. Let's just have a nice discussion in the comments below as we're finishing up. Next up, we have The Shining book, and I really enjoyed this edition of the cover. I have not read, well, I did read 50 pages of this before I was sidetracked by other stuff getting on for school just about last year. Didn't go back to it, but of what I read so far, I highly enjoyed it. I got into it rather quickly, and so I'm really excited to get into this one as well. There's just so much Stephen King to get to, as I also am currently reading other books as well, because he's not the only author I'm reading. So let me know down in the comments below what you think of that one. Of course, I enjoyed the movie, even though he isn't as big of a fan of the Stanley Kubrick adaptation, but we all have our own opinions, and especially as he enjoys his own work of what he's written, obviously there's something off with how he's interpreting it versus how Kubrick is portraying it. Next up, we have a book I have read, which is Stephen King's memoir on writing. Highly enjoyable, reading it as a writer myself. Hopefully going to become an author in the next couple of years, and just he talks about his life, how he's became a writer, and then just in general, some of his works, what inspires him. And he doesn't ramble on a lot about how to teach writing, because you can't really teach writing as much, but there's just a lot that he just portrays how he has gotten into writing, and what sort of motivates him and what sort of may motivate us, and just the story in general is really interesting as a memoir. And that's what sort of got me into memoirs that I want to read. A couple others that I have in mind, such as Beautiful Boy, since I watched that movie. And finishing it off, we have It by Stephen King. This is a huge book, and I'm over halfway through. I started it last October, I believe, and that was amidst all my senior year as well, reading other books for classes, but also reading books that I wanted to read on top of already reading this. So this sort of got pushed to the back burner quite a bit, but I've been really enjoying it, captivated by all the wording and everything. Some parts are a bit weird, just what he's doing with his writing, and some parts it feels like it's almost unnecessary, but I'm still intrigued by it. So I'm very excited to hopefully get back into it as soon as I can, and maybe I'll finish reading this before I get into any of his other books, even as I'm finishing up other books that I started in school. I'll be trying to tackle this a bit until I get into his other Stephen King books. Okay, so that's just my Stephen King collection, and I'd like to share it down below. Let me know down in the comments below what Stephen King movies or books you have, or just in general how much you own of each quantity, or even other Funko Pops, collectibles. Just how big is your Stephen King collection? Hope you have enjoyed. Let me know what you think of my collection as well. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.